Oh, and also I should say, yeah, we're still on Saquon versus Daniel Jones franchise tag watch. Lamar
Yes, yeah,
Jackson,
that's
if they
yeah,
get,
that as well. Yeah, two storylines unresolved still.
yeah, I mean, I'm honestly, if the Giants want to tag Daniel Jones and let Saquon walk, I am not going to be upset. But the Lamar Jackson storyline is much more interesting because if the Ravens apply the non-exclusive tag, some team could pick him up, and then the Ravens would get two first-round picks. And that is an interesting proposition because I think that they might be done with this contract situation and dealing with a guy who doesn't have an agent. I mean, like
Right.
if this was any other team, I'd have a lot less faith in the offer that they provided for him, but by all accounts, the offer was pretty good. Um, Even though the stuff leaking from Lamar's campaign has been downplaying it, but or team, I should say. Gosh, again, Monday. Um, Campaign. Um, I just want Lamar to get his money, and I think he's played this really wrong. I think he's burned some bridges in that organization, maybe in the locker room by not playing. Even though, hey, sit out if you need your money. I get it. I just wish he took that offer earlier because I think no matter what, he's not going to get that same amount of money that he was offered earlier by the Ravens.
Yeah, the worst case scenario for both sides is either somehow, some way the Ravens lose Lamar and get nothing,
Hmm.
and B,
They can't because they can tag him exclusively and then trade him, or they can tag him non-exclusively and they'll get those two first round
so right. So I
picks.
guess they are set up. They are set up to at least return something. But what I'm curious about is, say, I'm wondering if maybe putting the tag on him and trading them might make more sense for the team, only because perhaps maybe they could get more than just two first
Hmm.
round picks potentially.
Yeah, that's true.
The other thing though is with Lamar, like you said, is my hope is I just hope he doesn't find himself in a position where this has become too onerous for not only the Ravens themselves, but also any other team who might be like thinking about entering some sort of negotiation process if they're even able to successfully trade for
Yeah.
him.
And
I'm
and
wondering if this is like deflating his value just by virtue of it being a difficult situation.
yeah, they don't want to deal with his mom. Like it's not I'm not trying to offend anybody here. I want Lamar Jackson to get as much money as possible. He's one of my favorite players I've ever seen play. And another good point that I've been hearing is like Lamar's lack of agent has also hurt him with endorsements. I mean, when's the last time you saw Lamar in a commercial outside that one
Yeah,
Heisman one? Seriously. He should be one of the most marketable players in the NFL, and
and
he
it
doesn't have any endorsements, from my understanding.
I see and I think that's it though, is that it's not even what's hard about this conversation is it's like this isn't us like touting like the pieties and like the
Well, we love
good
agents. Yeah.
intentions of all agents in the NFL. It's more just like it would also potentially help if he had a good agent looking out for his best interests, that he wouldn't have to be balancing not just the interfacing with coaches from an X's and O's gameplay perspective,
Hmm.
but also doing that while understanding that the representative for whether that person, that being Lamar, will stay with the organization to do that is him.
Yeah.
Like it's essentially like it's almost as if, and it's this is not exactly one to one, but it's essentially like if Lamar was working at a company or working or on a team, suing the team,
Hmm.
and they were still working together, but Lamar also happened to be the attorney representing himself in a lawsuit.
Right.
Like things would be awkward. It's also probably just awkward now because
Yeah. I mean,
whenever he speaks to the GM, whenever he speaks to the owner, whenever he speaks to Jim Harbaugh, John Harbaugh, like it's not just Lamar the player, it's Lamar the agent. But
that is one of the benefits of having an agent is that it is like you can compartmentalize the business
there's a barrier,
negotiations with the
right?
play. Yeah.
There's a conduit between business and what's on the field. Obviously, they are one and the same, but at least one person can be delegated to talk about these things, and whatever ire or awkwardness or frustration can go through the people who go through that person, and not through Lamar directly.
Yeah. I mean, it's Guys, it's not an anti-Lamar thing to say that if he had an agent, he would in total make more money, including the fees that he's providing to the agent to negotiate the deal. I think that's irrefutable. And I just am bummed to see how these contract negotiations have gone
Yeah.
because that marriage between Ravens team philosophy, them being one of the most pro player organizations in the entire league, Lamar's style of play, him being all about football and that kind of thing. I loved it. But I think this marriage is coming to an end,
And they
unfortunately.
hired Todd Monken, and they hired the University of Georgia offensive coordinator to replace Greg Roman. I think it's a fantastic hire, and I want to see Lamar
Yeah.
play with Todd Monken. Todd Monken was able to make Stetson Bennett, who is like a 25-year-old seventh year senior, have ambitious and entertaining and in genuine run packages that work to his advantage. Imagine what he could do with Lamar Jackson.
I know. What if
And
they do that non-exclusive franchise tag and then they have multiple first-round picks they can package for Anthony Richardson?
well, that's I think we need to I think we need to get you a job interview.